I heard Melissa on the radio, and what really made my ears perk up was that she mentioned the Southern Paiute culture. And I was in Southern Paiute country at Bryce Canyon taking photos of very rare prairie dogs, the Utah prairie dog. And I am doing some writing, a book called Whole Alone, which has the Utah prairie dog as the main character. It's what I call a prairie tale, and it's for anybody who really believes in a sense of community and people coming together when the heart opens to love. I think what my writing is all about is positivity and the thread of love that connects us all. I mean, some people enter this book, Affirmations Plus Animals, just as a nature and science book. You know, they look at something like elephant, keep on trunkin', which is the affirmation for elephant, and they learn all about how elephants persist through life, how they feed in separate forests and they come back together and celebrate, you know, how they might go to an elephant graveyard and they'll mourn the loss, but then they keep going. That to me is keep on trunking, the persistence. So they look at it from the science angle. But then other people, when they look at my writing, they say, isn't the universe marvelous? Isn't the Creator marvelous? And they look at it from this perspective of spirit and just the beauty all around us that connects us all. For my third book, The Affirmations of the Endangered, I knew I always wanted to do something like the eagle or the condor, but I couldn't really figure out, you know, fly higher, rise, you know, soaring high. And what I realized was what I'm always telling myself is to rise above. And that turned out to be the perfect affirmation for the condor, rise above. Each animal in the book has an affirmation. For example, the wolf is honor the pack leader within, or the puma is get more pounds to the ounce. So with the elephant, keep on trunkin', I realized what I wasn't going to go research was all the muscles in the trunk and how the trunk has the power to uproot a big tree, but at the same time is supple enough to pick up one blade of grass. So researching all the scientific marvels of the trunk and the statistics that you could find just to leave people awestruck about the trunk was not the message. To be like the condor and to rise above really meant going into the deeper meaning of keep on trunkin', which was persistence, and how these animals, elephants, are so sensitive, and no matter what situation they meet in life, whether it's something sad, whether it's separation, whether it's coming back together, they keep on going as a community. I guess if one of the animals were me, it'd probably be the prairie dog. And my affirmation for the prairie dog in the Affirmations book is give kisses. You know, the koala is give hugs. It's hugging a tree. It's hugging its baby. The prairie dog is give kisses. And to me, that's such an amazingly positive image, because that's how they meet one another. That's how they identify one another, is because they get close and a kiss is identifying who is who in the community. Another reason the prairie dog is probably one of my signature animals, or how I identify myself, is the community aspect. I guess if I were to give it another affirmation, it might be stand by me, because one of the very first things I've seen the little baby prairie dogs do in life is learn how to stand up. They look like little bears. They're kind of teetery at first, and they learn how to stand up, and what they're really doing is they're keeping an eye out for danger. Not just for themselves. It's not so, oh, there's a coyote over there, oh, there's an eagle over there, I've got to run into my hole. But really, it's to call out warnings to the others. So really, their whole voice, the voice of the prairie dog, the reason they're called a prairie dog is because they bark, is because of community. It's because of others. These are giving animals. And one more thing I'd just like to share about the prairie dog, it's a very rare behavior that they do. It's called communal nursing. It's probably more common in birds, but if you imagine the Utah prairie dog, it lives at 7,000 to 9,000 feet up around Bryce Canyon. It hibernates the winter away under like a sheet of snow, down 15 feet in the ground. It comes up, you know, finding bits of grass along the sides of the snow, eating enough, the females try and eat enough grass in order to have a litter of their own. That takes a lot of energy. Then they have to eat enough grass to nurse their babies, and let's say a hole nearby has some orphan pups. Why, they will invite those pups over to their breast and nurse them as well. So again, stand by me. This is a very giving animal about community. And really, when I write my books, it's not, oh, I came up with these words, oh, this is the way I explain it. It's really meant to inspire others, so it's really a gift. One thing you would do is go down into its hole to retreat, you know. I think it finds a lot of energy from being in the earth, and to me, going down into the earth is kind of like going to the heartbeat of our planet. It's almost like going into yourself. And so when you go into yourself, you kind of find that strength to come back out into the sunshine and to give. So I think that's what we can all do. When we know ourselves is how we can give, and we can all be leaders. And that's why I wrote this book. It's about connection. Okay. It's bats hang out with their friends, we hang out with our friends. Wild horses can unbridle their passion. We should unbridle our passions. It's that connective thread. We're all the same. We all want the same things. We all just want to be loved and to express ourselves. And I think animals are the same way. And so, you know, by just describing some of their behaviors, people just take that in without being told.